This is going to change everything for you. This is what women are dealing with. I had to figure out a lot of this on my own. I don't want you to have to figure this out on your own because it took me forever. She don't understand that this is what you need. If she understood that this is what you needed, she would give it to you. I promise you she would. Women don't want to keep spazzing on you. Your woman does not want to keep spazzing on you. She doesn't want that. And as soon as I did it, everything changed. It may not seem like this, but women aren't even really blaming you. They may think they're blaming you, but they're not even blaming you. Women don't know what's going on either while they're in the middle of spazzing on you. So while they're spazzing on you and you're confused and you're lost and you're frustrated, you're trying to figure out what is this, they're trying to figure that out too while they're doing it. So here's the key. Fellas, if you've been trying to figure out why your woman is so angry all the time, why she continues to explode on you and just spazzes out many times where it's totally unexpected. It comes out the blue. You don't even understand why we're talking about this again, because you thought that we resolved this already. We talked about this before. Why is this coming up again? You think everything is cool, you're enjoying each other's company, and then either you say something that triggers her or something just triggers her and you don't even know what the trigger was. But once again, she's spazzing out on you. Everything she's saying doesn't make sense to you. It doesn't make sense to you why she's saying this now. It doesn't make sense to you why she's bringing these things up again. Why does this keep happening? I know you're frustrated. I've been there. Trust me. I want things to continue to get better for you. I see the struggle. I see you guys out here in the world, constantly frustrated, trying to figure out why she's snapping on you again. It doesn't make any sense. I get it. I know it. I've been there. Trust me, I've been there. If you are trying to figure out why are women so mad, why are they so mad at you? Let me break it down for you. First, we need to talk about the difference between the way men think and the way women think, because whether you know it or not, we think very differently. So let's start with the men. If something bothering you and you got to figure it out, what do? What's the first thing that you need? You need peace and quiet, right? You need your external environment to be completely quiet. This is part of the reason why it's so frustrating every time she's spazzing on us, especially when we're trying to figure things out. If you're already trying to figure something out and then here she comes again, spazzing on you, it interrupts your process. Now remember that. That's going to be key as we get into this. You do not like it when things interrupt your process of figuring things out because figuring things out is very important to you. Peace in your external environment. You need it to be quiet. You need people to leave you alone in isolation by yourself. Why is that? The issue at hand is in our minds. And as long as we can isolate that issue away from everything else so that we have a clear view, so that we can see what this issue is and have the time that we need to sit with it, examine it, look at all the detail, process it fully. And then the answers become clear to us, right? But that's only when we don't have all this other noise in our way. The noise has to go away so that we can isolate the problem and look at it to get the answers that we need as we observe this thing inside our head without anything disturbing that process. Makes sense, right? Here's what I want you to understand. This is the difference between how men operate and how women operate when we are trying to figure things out. Men have the thing in our head already isolated. It's already there waiting for us. All we got to do is remove all of this stuff out here in our external environment so that we can look at it. Women do not have access to that. All of that noise is inside of women's heads too. So how do they isolate that one issue inside their mind from all of these other things so that they can look at what they need to look at to figure things out for them. Making the external environment quiet and peaceful and removing the noise from out here doesn't solve that problem for them because all of that noise is still inside their own minds, along with the thing that they're trying to see, the one issue that they're trying to pinpoint, to isolate. So, how do they do it? They have to vocalize how they feel. They have to pour it out here because all the noise is inside here for them. That's how they do it. So, what that looks like is them spazzing on you, the emotional outbursts, the yelling, the screaming, the blaming you. And a lot of times, it may not seem like this, but women aren't even really blaming you. They may think they're blaming you, but they're not even blaming you. Women don't know what's going on either while they're in the middle of spazzing on you. So while they're spazzing on you and you're confused and you're lost and you're frustrated, you're trying to figure out what is this, they're trying to figure that out too while they're doing it. So here's the key. You have to let them finish. You have to let them finish, guys. And I know this sucks. This really sucks because that means that the entire time they're spazzing on you, you have to let them keep going. You have to sit there and just let them go off. Don't ignore what they're saying. Give them attention. Be present with it. And I know this is hard. I know it's hard. You're not going to want to do it. What I'm telling you, you have to do, you're not going to want to do it. The more you sit in that, the angrier you are going to feel. The harder it's going to be for you to continue in that mode. But I'm telling you, you just have to let her finish. The reason that she is spazzing on you again and about the same issues, all of the previous times that she did it, she was not able to finish. Something happened within that dialogue with you where she was interrupted. You felt defensive. You went into man mode, and this is very natural for us. Anytime men, we feel like we're getting attacked, we immediately go into defense mode, especially when it doesn't make sense to us why we're being attacked. Now, she's not really attacking you, but it seems like she is. It may even seem like she is to her. But again, until she finishes doing it, she has not completely isolated the issue. The issue is what's being expressed through her out loud towards you in that moment. If she gets interrupted at any point before she is able to completely finish what she's doing without you saying a word, if you have to say a word, it can just be something as simple as okay, or wow, or hmm. It's gonna have to be real short. It's gonna have to be real short, fellas. Something so short to where you feel like you've been able to get something off of your chest to kind of like help the energy move, right? But then you gotta close it back up and let her continue. You gotta do it in a way where she knows she still has the microphone in the conversation. And I'm telling you, once she is finally, for the first time, able to completely let it all out without you giving anything in return in regards to your feelings and your thoughts and vocalizing any of that to her, once she gets to the end, now she has isolated it from all the noise in here. And as soon as she does that, something clicks within her mind and she goes, wow. Because now she can look at the whole thing. And when she sees the whole thing, now she can observe it and look at it for what it really is. This is where her clarity starts to come in. She might have really thought she was pissed at you. She might have really thought that. But now that she's isolated it, it's right here in front of her, out in her external because she vocalized it. And now she is able to hear everything that she said. Now she can start to process. The same way that men process inside our mind, and we need to quiet out here so we can continue to do that undisturbed. Now that she has finished, because she's not done, she's just, that's just the isolating part. She ain't even started processing it yet. So now she has to process. So for men, it's easy for us because as soon as we get it quiet, We can immediately look at what's isolated and start to process it. She has to go through the process of expressing all of that emotion first just to get it isolated. And that can take quite a long time. It can feel like forever for us. This is why it's so difficult for us to do that, because it seems like all of that emotion coming towards us, feeling like an attack towards us, it seems like it's going on forever and forever. And I'm telling you, as you sit there with it, it's gonna be difficult. It's gonna be tough, but just sit with it. Just let it happen. Just try it once. Just try it once. And I'm telling you, by the end of this process of you sitting with it, letting it happen, letting her finish, and then giving her the moment that she needs to then look at it her own self. It may even be a situation where she has to go off in a whole nother space and you don't even see what she's doing with her processing of it. It may just be her spazzing on you, completely finishing with spazzing on you, and then now she don't want to be in your presence and then goes off somewhere. And the reason why that happens a lot of times is because now that she's done that, this is new for her. It's new for her to be able to completely go off and completely finish and get all the way to the end. Women don't have that experience. A lot of women have never experienced that. A lot of women have never experienced being able to completely go off on a man without being interrupted to the point where she can go through the entire process of emotionally exploding on you and getting all the way to the end without any interruption from the man. A lot of women have never experienced that at all, ever. They don't even know what it's like. So now you've given her a new opportunity to experience something she's never even experienced before. And you know what comes with that? She can feel very embarrassed by that. She can feel very ashamed by that. And now this is actually bringing up a lot of other stuff that's uncomfortable for her. Now she wants to go away. Now she wants to be in a whole separate space because now she's starting to feel other emotions come up that she don't even necessarily feel comfortable having around you. Like being very afraid because all of this is now very new for her. She didn't see it coming, just like you didn't see it coming when she started spazzing. She didn't see it coming that you were able to let her finish. And this gets real deep, but I just want to give you the foundational information to help you get started so that you can see immediate results. And I'm telling you, these results are immediate. It's going to change everything for you in the relationship. Because now, whether she goes off and feels like she has to process it on her own, or whether she just sits there for a little bit and y'all are both sitting there in silence and she's looking at what she just did, like, oh my God, what is this? She at least has the opportunity to look at the issue isolated from the noise. And now she can process it and think about it. How easy is it for you as a man to process the issue inside of your head? It's easy. Overall, it's easy for you because the noise is gone. The noise out here is gone. And as long as you have enough time to continue that process, you can get to the solution pretty quickly. I know you've experienced that before from time to time. And that's why it's so frustrating when you don't have the opportunity to do it and you're trying to do it and there's all this noise out here because you know that as long as you can get rid of this noise, you can get to the solution. And you want that solution so bad. And you can't control a lot of times what's going on in your external environment because you don't control other people, what they're doing. If you have other people in your external environment making noise, bothering you, asking you questions, coming in and out the room when you're trying to be by yourself and get to this thing so that you can get to the solution that you know everybody's actually begging you for, and they just don't understand if they could just leave you alone, you can give them what they want, right? Right. That's what she needs. But she has to do it a completely different way. She has to do it a completely different way. And she needs us. She needs us as a soundboard to direct all of that emotion so that she can continue to let it out of her system so that she can get to the point where it's completely expressed. The entire issue has been vocalized. It's now out here, and now she can look at it. And once she starts to look at it, you will be amazed at how fast he understands what just happened if you let her just go through that process. So, one, you have to let her get it out without interrupting, without walking off. Don't walk off. Don't say, hold on, I can't do this right now. I need to get my head together and step away from you because I'm feeling like you're attacking me in order to justify you stepping away from her because now you feeling like there's another man coming at you and you trying to not get to the point where you are like ready to physically defend yourself. These are all the emotions that is building up inside you. I know this is so very key. You got to learn how to breathe, fellas. You got to learn how to breathe. So as she's going off on you, you're going to be focused on more than one thing. You're going to be focused on what she's saying, but that's going to be the hard part because that's what's going to bring up the anger in you. You also have to focus on your breathing. Let your breath help you to continue to calm back down and then calm back down again and then calm back down again. And as long as you continue to do that, eventually she's going to stop because she's going to finally get it all out. She's going to have it isolated right here in front of her. And this is actually what's going to help her get through this process even faster. This is the part that's going to help her realize, oh, wow, he supports me because after she finishes doing that, after she has it isolated right here in front of her, after she starts observing it and realizing it's something completely different than she thought, she's going to look at the fact that you're still there. She's going to be like, wow, I did all of this just now and it didn't run him off. It didn't chase him away. It didn't scare him away. Wow. That's going to be huge for her. That's going to help her with the processing of the information that she now has to look at because she knows now, probably for the first time ever, that she's not alone. Think about that for a minute. All this time that this woman and other women in your past, or if you deal with multiple women and they all do it from time to time, this is the first time that they have ever been able to have this experience and now be presented with something that's very new and scary for them, and at the same time realize that they don't have to go through this experience alone because, oh my God, he's still there. He's still there. That's new for them. Women are used to men running off when this happens. That scares them even more because now, not only have they still not been able to figure out what's really going on because they weren't able to isolate it, they weren't able to isolate the issue, look at the whole thing, understand what's really happening. They don't get none of this either. Not only are they having to deal with that, but they're having to deal with that now also seeing that this man has run off and now she's all by herself trying to figure this thing out still. She's still trying to figure this thing out. It don't make no sense because she still has not been able to isolate the issue to even look at it. It's right there. It's right there for her, but the noise is there too. For men, the noise ain't in here. Not like that. Not for this particular type of situation in the context that we're talking about right now. Okay, yes, there's noise in here. Yes, we know when we try to meditate, we're trying to quiet our mind and all that, yada, yada, yada. All right, but that's a whole nother conversation. The main issue that men want to go to so that we can look at it and finally figure something out, for the most part, that main issue is already isolated in here by itself. If there's other noise in here, it ain't significantly loud enough to where it's getting in the way of what the issue is. Most of the noise for us is out here in our external environment. And we intuitively know that. That's why we always want to go off to ourselves when we're frustrated or when we're angry with our partner or when we're angry with ourselves or when we're just thrown off by whatever we're thrown off by. The first thing we always do is we seek isolation because we intuitively know that as long as we can get all of this out here quiet, there's no noise in the way of what is going on in our heads, where the issue is. Women do not have that privilege. They don't have that privilege. We have that privilege. It may not feel like a privilege a lot of times because we don't have no control over the noise out here. And we just trying to get it quiet out here and we can't figure out how to do it, especially when your woman is involved in your environment, contributing to that noise. And she don't understand that this is what you need. If she understood that this is what you needed, she would give it to you. I promise you she would. If she really understood these differences that I'm explaining to you right now between men and women and the way that we think, and that this is all you need is to just get that isolation of the issue away from the noise. And that if you had enough time to observe it, you would come up with the solution because that is your intention. And then you would bring that solution to her because that's what she's been begging you for, right? She would do that for you, but she don't know that. How could she know that? Men don't even know it. Men don't know that that's why we need to go off into isolation. We just do it because that's instinctually we just do it. We just got to get away. We just immediately go into that mode, but we don't know. Nobody's explained it to us just like this, or even in a way that's similar to this. I had to figure out a lot of this on my own. I don't want you to have to figure this out on your own because it took me forever to figure this out on my own. And it took me experimenting with the process that I just explained to you without having anybody else validate that it was really going to work. I was just going for it because of the different insights that I was having while I was in these arguments, these heated discussions with my wife. Every time I really meditated on it and sat down and like really looked at it, trying to figure it out when I did have that quiet, more and more insights came to me and I was like, wow, this is what I'm going to need to do. And as scary as it was, I eventually did it. And as soon as I did it, everything changed because now I was able to witness her have those realizations while she was able to look at what she isolated after vocalizing all that angry energy towards me. And then she immediately went to work into processing it because women want solutions too. Women don't want to keep spazzing on you. Your woman does not want to keep spazzing on you. She doesn't want that. She doesn't understand why she's doing it either. So help her understand by giving her the time to isolate the issue from the noise. It's not out here for her. Yes, she's dealing with noise out here too, which, if you think about it, that makes it even harder for women to go through these processes of figuring things out because women are dealing with noise out here too. They're dealing with noise out here and the noise in here. Men are dealing with noise in here too, but again, like I said, it's not like the noise women are dealing with. Trust me, women are dealing with noise inside their mind that men, a lot of us, we couldn't even imagine. We couldn't even imagine. And they're not going to tell you because they already feel like you don't understand them. So help her, give her the chance, give her the gift of having the experience of finally seeing what it's like to have the issue that she's really trying to get to isolated from the noise, isolated from all that inner noise that women are constantly dealing with out here, whether you know it or not. This is what women are dealing with. So give her the gift of being able to isolate the issue by vocalizing it towards you. And yes, it's going to be tough. I'm not expecting this to be any easier for you, even with you hearing me break it down for you. It may sound good to you right now, but when you get in that mode, when it's that moment that's actually happening, you might actually even forget all the information I just gave you because you're so triggered by her emotion and by it being thrown at you. That's all you're going to be thinking about in that moment. But you come back to this information over and over again, drill it in, fellas, get it in your mind so that you can recall when you need it the most. When she's spazzing on you, you want to be able to recall this because that's your opportunity right there. That's your opportunity. Don't think of her spazzing on you as, why is this happening again? No, 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 stop. This is your opportunity for this to be the last time she does it with this issue. I'm not saying there's not going to be no more spazzing, but with this issue, at least you will be able to move forward past this one. And once you move forward past this one, every other issue that comes up in the future is going to be easier to move through because now you know what it's like. Now you got the proof that it works. Now you have had some practice and you can continue to bring up those tools in your mind every single time. It's going to get easier and easier. The spazzing is going to get shorter and shorter. And now this becomes even more familiar for her as well. So take this information, sit with it, review it if you need to, watch it over and over again if you need to, telling you this is going to change everything for you. This is going to change everything for you. Real quick rundown, one last time, how this works. Men, we know what's going on as soon as we can get rid of the noise because it's already isolated in here. And then we observe the issue, we're able to process it, come up with the solution, and then implement that information. Women want to do the same thing, but they have to isolate it from the noise in here. And the only way she can do that is if you allow her to express all of that pent up anger, emotion, rage, frustration, sadness, grief, whatever it is. It's going to feel like it is an attack on you, but it's not. She doesn't know what's going on either yet until he's finished. So let her finish. Don't go nowhere. Sit right there so that as soon as she's done and she snaps out of it and she sees you have not gone nowhere, you haven't run off like all the other men did, she's going to be like, oh my God, what is this? And then she's going to look at it. Why? Because now she finally can. That's what she has been wanting this entire time. She didn't even know it because she didn't know that this was what it was going to be like. She's going to look at it just like we look at our shit when we get the chance to. Now she can go through that process because she's looking at it, come up with a solution, or at least get closer to it with your help because the isolation is complete. Now you can begin to dialogue, help her work through it, talk it out with her, right? Now she doesn't mind you talking. She doesn't mind you giving your input now because now she sees something she's never seen before and she got what she needed. It's isolated. Now that it's isolated, we can talk about this now. Oh my God, what is this? Can you help? That's how she's going to be at that point. And now you can relax because you realize, oh wow, this did work. And now she realizes that it wasn't about me either, even though I already knew that. She ain't gonna want to hear that until it's isolated first and she can get the proof. Okay? Try this. Try this. It's gonna do wonders for you. So I hope this helps you. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you, man. I see what you go through out here. I see what you go through out here, but I also see what women go through because I work with women directly one-on-one on a very high level. I'm a shaman, and now I want to help you with the things that you got going on in your life and in your relationship. Take this information to heart. It works. My name is Shaman Hands, and thank you for watching. And if this video helped you, feel free to tell me how. Remember to be on the lookout for your next Shaman Hands video, where by then you can already be a better version of yourself, ready to learn even more.